Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. I'm Joe Paul, the local president. I've got a handful of things I want to talk about today. We're going to start out with always request your steward. When management wants to take you in and talk to you, ask you a bunch of questions, request a steward. As I always say, they do not have to ask you, you have to ask them. Also, if it's an inspection service, postal inspector, OIG, anything like that, same thing. You request your steward, and they have to honor your wine garden rights. So make sure you do that. Right now, this month, one removal going on right now. Well, in the last 2 weeks since I've spoken to you, there's been one. We have a lot of letters of warning, lots of 7 to 14 day suspensions. As always, attendance related, most of them. Watch your attendance because they're keeping an eye on that. The Postal Service is starting to come out with some new thing. So there's some attendance control policy and assigning certain supervisors. We're going to challenge that. We have some ideas on that, but be looking for that because that's the next thing they're trying. Let's see, PTF and PSC conversions, still steady on that, working on it. We have 214 so far. That's quite a few, and we're looking to get more. MVS, pretty quiet as of late. VMF, pretty good. We've had a problem over there today with the toilets overflowing and the plumbing's bad, but they're already working on that. I've already contacted them, so they're looking into that. They're probably maybe going to have to bring someone from outside if we can't take care of it, but we're going to try to use our people, our craft people, to try to do everything we can first. We don't want any Article 32, which is subcontracting. We want to keep as much work for us in every craft. Let's see else. The contract, still nothing. We're going to mediation, which means we're going to have to, I'm going to put this in the email along with that, but it explains a lot about where we are in mediation. We're going to head to arbitration. Mediation, you kind of discuss things and kind of narrow the focus of where you're going, but they're going to have an outsider do all that. So hopefully we can get a contract, or at least if we go to arbitration, we get a great contract. And that's what we're looking for. The Function 1 scheduler in the two big plants, Seminole and Orlando, we haven't had any discussions on it. They're supposed to talk to me this week. More than likely it'll be next week. I heard they have a lot of their figures in. It won't be as bad, so they're saying anything different is bad as far as I'm concerned, but we're going to look at it, and once I find out what they're talking about, I'll make sure it's right, but I'll also let you know what's going on. So stay tuned for those updates. Let's see here. The defibrillators. As I mentioned last time, we finally got the defibrillators in, and they're in the process of training people. We have over 60 people scheduled, and the training's supposed to start within the next week or so. So they'll be contacting you, letting know when that is, and it's for the defibrillator, first responder, CPR, things like that. And we have professionals coming in from the outside. Let's see, the canvassing opportunities, PSE and PTF canvassing. Sometimes you're even in the big plants or out in the AOs that we have. We have 102 offices. They're going to come out and you're going to get a sheet saying, or it's going to be posted also, telling you about opportunities to get conversions from PSE to PTF or PTF to full-time, sometimes PSE to full-time. But it's going to be within 50 miles. But as I mentioned before, don't go there blindly. If you decide that you want one and they get to you within 50 miles and you're senior, you want to at least go there first. Look at it. See what's going on there. See what the hours look like. See if it's something that you really want. You don't want to get hooked into something because now you're locked in there for quite a while. As far as unencumbered, this is one that Bob asked me to talk about. This is something that's going on fairly regular. When you become unencumbered, which is synonymous with unassigned regular, you don't have a bid yet, and we have a lot of those right now, like 16 in the Orlando PNDC and a handful over in the Seminole PNDC. Within the first 28 days from when you become unencumbered / unassigned, management must give you a set schedule. So you're not going to have a job, but you'll have a schedule, an assignment basically, but not a bid job for the first 28 days. That you will stay in that up to 180 days until such time as you're assigned or you bid out of that. If they give you an assignment, say Sunday, Monday off, 7 in the morning to 3:30, although it won't be a day shift job, but you're working at, after the 28 days, they decide they want to move your hours and change you around a little bit. When you don't have a bid yet, you're going to probably be entitled to out of schedule pay. So you want to request your steward at that point. We're seeing a lot of that. So just keep on the lookout for that. As far as letters of demand, when you get one, when you owe money, they say you owe money, don't just pay it. You're going to get an invoice. You file right away with the union within 14 days, and we put it in the system. the grievance. Once it's in the system, they cannot take the money from you, involuntarily even, until the grievance is adjudicated or settled. Now, even when we have those settled or adjudicated in the grievance system, sometimes you still, from Egan, which is Egan, Minnesota, whatever, you're going to wind up getting invoices. You don't want to pay them, but you need to let us know. So we can put that in the system and try to contact Egan, let them know, look, the guy's got or the girl's got a grievance in the system. You can't take the money at this point. Let's see what else. The threat assessment. That's a big thing. We should have, so they say, and it should be, zero tolerance for any kind of harassment, yelling and screaming at you, sexual harassment, anything like that. When you file a threat assessment, it should be confidential. I just heard today or yesterday, a couple times actually in the last month or so, when management's talking about people's reports. This is highly confidential. You don't talk about somebody's reports. I've already sent some things out today to the management people in charge in one of the plants. So make sure if you feel threatened, anything like that, you request from your supervisor to file a threat assessment. That's supposed to be taken serious. It's a 4 or 5 person committee. It's just not your regular supervisor on the workroom floor. It's supposed to have 1 or 2 of those there, like the plant manager, your supervisor. Then it goes out to the district. They've got an HR manager, labor relations, and they have some other people involved in that. And they're supposed to follow that up, check it out, and make sure it's taken care of. So anyway, just make sure you always do that. It's for you. And we want a zero violence, zero tolerance in our workplace. Nobody should be subject to that if you come into the job. So anyway, that's it for today. And thank you for being members and proud members of the APW. Thank you.